Hey everyone, this is ScrapComputer here. This video is going to cover and explain how Malzahar support works. Understanding your weapon before you use it is pretty important, so let's get into it. Malzahar's passive Void Shift. Innate, Malzahar receives Void Shift. He hasn't taken damage or been afflicted by crowd control in the last 30, 24, 18 and 12 seconds. Damage from minions does not interact with Void Shift. Void Shift phases out Malzahar, making him immune to crowd control and taking 90% reduced damage, lingering for 0.25 seconds after taking damage or blocking crowd control effects. This does a few things for Malzahar support. Number one, zone and harass safety. So he can use this to zone his opponents. Everyone knows he can't be CC'd or really hard damage during this, so he can run up and use this as a way to get some free damage down. Additionally, it also gives him a little bit of safety as well when he is trying to go in for the zoning and harassing ability. Number two, free tank stats. Once again, once this is up during a fight, it's just a free ability. It blocks something, it blocks Thresh Hook, it blocks an edge rule Q for the most part, and removes most of the damage. Makes you a little bit more tanky for a bot lane mage. Number three, anti-pick. The main vulnerability of an AP bot like Brand or a Vel'Koz or an Annie is being picked off and blown up. They're very squishy. Malzahar is no exception to that case. Because of this gives him a bit of anti-pick capabilities. It means he's not as vulnerable to that Thresh Hook, that Blitz Hook that normally would pick him off when he's trying to zone his opponents. This is really handy. And number four, engage. This can help you really handily get an engage. You usually can disengage really easily versus someone who's just running at you. Malzahar with this passive makes it quite a bit and quite considerably more difficult. Malzahar's Q, Call of the Void. Active, Malzahar summons 2 orbs at the target location perpendicular to where he is facing, dealing magical damage to all enemies caught between the orbs and silencing them. The silence lasts 1 to 2 seconds depending upon the level. So this gives a few things. Number one, CC and disruption. Straight up, a really long silence like that is a massive block for your enemies. It can just really shut them down from trying to combo, completely ruin mages, can just CC someone out just so they die. It's very simple, really straight up help. Number two, protection. This can also help peel off bruisers, can peel off mages. Once they're silenced, most people back off. Bruisers maybe not so much, but it just makes sure they really can't activate that Q again to get that damage down. Number three, ruins combos. This is more orientated towards the Vanguards out there, the rises. It can shut down mages really hard style, just removing that overall 100 to 0 combo in your backline or yourself. Number four, push. This also helps in shoving out minion waves. This is really important in the bot lane. Support has to know how to shove out waves. They have to know how to clear after their enemies leave. They've got to be able to push with the team. And this is really handy here. The push is really fast on Malzahar. The Q is just handy with this. Number five, pick. Running up on someone and tagging them with the Q, removing their ability to, let's say, natural arcane shift away, just means you can run up and then ultimate afterwards. It does give a very mild chance for a pick potential with this ability. Malzahar's W, Void Swarm. Basically, he charges up voids and he can use them and they'll attack whoever they're on. They'll do extra damage if the person is affected by his E. The first Voidling attacks a large monster or a champion, it'll multiply and do more damage. They'll also gain bonus movement speed on towards priority target if they're close enough to Malzahar. If they're not, they remove this. This was nerfed a little bit in patch 7.3. They give a small 0.3 second delay and the minions are a bit slower in their way from Malz. This only chipped away from these points. It's still a perfectly valid strategy. Now, why this is broken. Number one, damage. Malzahar by himself couldn't take on the AD carry early game, and that's not really something you hear all too often from a support. Now, most of them can defeat, but straight up all in and just destroy, it's not very common. The amount of damage these Voidlings do, base damage, is insane. It's massive, and when you add in your E, it is disgusting. You can 100-0, you can beat up tanks, you can beat up pretty much anyone. Unless you blow him up very quickly, there's very little you can do about it either. So damage is just a huge point I want to mention. It is so much, and you can't really all in a Malzahar lane because once he does this to you, you will lose uncategorically, regardless of your champion. Number two, zone. This was nerfed once again, but it's still useful. It still works. Using the Voidlings on an enemy, they're still chased out of lane, they're still pushed back, they're still shoved around very easily. And this is really handy. So it means your AD carry constantly has breathing room, constantly just relaxing, and it's free damage as well. Number three, push. These just help pushing. Very strong. Voidlings do a lot of DPS. So this helps out in just pushing and shoving down waves a little bit quicker. Not crazy. Number four, a nice strategy that Malzahar opens is a early Dragon Baron or anything else you can think of. You can even take the enemy's jungle if you wanted to. Malzahar's support works really well in this regard, especially for those early dragons. You can actually slip in and just you and the jungler single-handedly take those dragons, which is really, really rare. There's not really many other champions in the game that can do that. You can get a dragon at level 2 with certain junglers, and that's a nice little strategy you can push out. Malzahar's E, Malefic Visions, active. Malzahar infects the enemy target's mind, dealing them magical damage every half second over 4 seconds. Damage to a target with Call of the Void or Nethergrass will refresh the duration of Malefic Vision. So this is a 650 range. Why is this useful? Number 1, base damage. You can redo this. Call of the Void, Nethergrass, refreshing this is the amount of overall damage you can do is bananas. It's crazy. And this is why at level 6 there are very few champions in the game, if they're 6 as well, can take on Malzahar. This guy just destroys you very, very easily and very, very efficiently. Kind of difficult to deal with. The base damage alone can kill things so much, just very scary. Number 2, zone. Once you do some minions or your enemy, they're pushed off and zoned, or you can choose the threat of this ability to do the same thing. Pretty disgusting, a lot of damage, very, very scary. Number 3, all in. The damage, once again, just gives you the all in potential that your enemy knows about, which gives your AD carry a lot of protection. Malzahar's ultimate, Nether Grasp. Active, Malzahar knocks down an enemy champion for the next 2.5 seconds. Malzahar challenge, during which the target is suppressed. A null zone is open beneath the target that lasts 5 seconds, dealing magical damage every second to both Nethergrass target as well as all enemies within it. Number 1, damage straight up. This does percentage damage. This kills your target hugely. The base damage alone is just insane. You can just do this in someone and just do lots of damage. Match them with the rest of your kit, and the fact the lockdown, it does a lot. Number 2, level 6 kill. At level 6, this almost immediately with the lockdown and damage combo is pretty much always a free kill. There's very little you can do about it. So yeah, very good in the bot lane as a support. Number 3, protection. It can be used as a peel tool as well. It's not a problem. So this just means Malzahar is a little bit more than just a kill support. He can peel really effectively. 2.5 seconds is a pretty long time. Number 4, combo. The biggest thing about Malzahar is the combo. If you can pull off the combo efficiently, you can absolutely obliterate that's a word. You can absolutely destroy pretty much anyone, even bruisers and tanks coming at your AD carry. You can lock them down and do so much damage. Your AD carry simply has to auto them 1 or 2 times and you get the kill. Number 5, a big one, pick potential. You just have to run up, flash ultimate. Malz makes great picks. 2.5 seconds is a long time, very, very long, and it pretty much is almost always a free pick. Really, really strong. Number 6, CC. Just in general, it adds more CC and bolsters his kit out a little bit more, and just makes him a little bit more of a target to deal with. Chaining combo. Now I mentioned why this all works out together. So at level 6, any form of AD competent AD carry will give Malzahar a lane, the support Malzahar a kill. The overall amount of damage and pick this guy does and the amount of zone means you should have bullied early game anyway. If you lost early, that must have been a pretty big mistake. But if you do this combo, you pretty much always get a kill. Place your E in your enemy, and while it's ticking off, you do your W so they start chasing, and then after this use your Q, which should refresh the E, and then run up and use your ultimate. This will lock them on the spot, which means that Malzahar's Voidlings are doing damage, they're doing percentage damage, they're locked down for 2.5 seconds, and they were silenced beforehand. If you do that combo, there's no one that can deal with it. Like, if you pretty much just get blown up, unless it's a Zyra MF lane, which is a direct counter, there's pretty much not many other there's not really any combos that can defeat this. There just isn't. Like, the amount of damage, it forces everyone to use all of their CC and Malz and all of their stuff, but the other player will already have the Voidlings to zone them off and they'll be silenced even if it is interrupted. So there's very little counterplay to this kind of ability unless you've got a prolonged CC and damage disengage, which bot lane just doesn't really have. The teams do, but not bot lane. This is the reason why it's such an oppressive lane. So in summary, Malz provides massive insane damage, huge zone control and CC for his team, while having a pretty much unbeatable lane, which gives you already carry a free lane or a lot of kills. Lane dominance usually transists pretty well, and after this, mid to late game, you get a late game mage. Once they get rallies, E is providing slows. You've got tons of damage, you can pick up early objectives, and very late game, you're just another mage, you're another DPS damage dealer, and it's pretty strong. Nothing wrong with this champion at all. Really, really powerful support, and definitely worth a pickup. The win rate on Malz support is pretty high, and 100% will help you out in ranked and getting that nice rank you do deserve. So guys, that's it for the video. If you like it, dislike it. If you like the content, you can subscribe. And think it's horrible and total trash, you can unsub and totally fair. But beyond that, guys, have a great day. Best luck in the Rift, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy.